live. As soon as it comes up, let's put that disclaimer on.
The following
Black and
presentation
decency and
openly
fat jokes.
expresses, thinks, and shares without limitations on social divisions.
Oh shit.
And just in case, it's gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
this. Censored.
Censored. Hey, I like that
Not
one.
even message. Censored.
What's
Right.
up, everybody? This is Shoot the Shit with Joey Zaza. We have Sandy Felices. We have DJ John Wayne up in the place. Hopefully,
Yeah.
just pop through. What is up? Today, what are we talking about today? Today, we're talking about small businesses and entrepreneurship.
Show your rights.
Yes, sir. We all want to, well, let me not say we all, because I've known quite a few people that are more than happy to work with a company. And let's be real, if the company knows how to treat you right, you're good.
Stay there.
Not
True.
all of us can
But you can move up gradually down through the ranks and stuff to where you want to be or whatnot.
Most of us want to either make our own money, you know what I mean, our own business. We want to build our own schedule. You know, we want to have full freedom. Full freedom. There's but so much you can do when you work under somebody else's rules.
Facts.
You know, yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, you're a DJ, you know that. Yeah, come through, be a DJ. I want you to flip, but
Yeah, I still got to work with them. Yeah, of course. They still, at the end of the day, have the last word of what they want me to play, more or
Because
less.
it's a service that you're providing.
Yeah, of course. That's real. Of course.
So,
I've had that happen, but it gets to the point sometimes that it could be like if you're in a real job and you have a fucking idiot boss that likes to have power and he gets off on power. So if he treats you like he's, really, really superior,
I'm paying you.
put it now, or do this now, or put this song now. I'm like, yo, wait a minute, Papa. Like, tell me more or less what you think. And I'm reading the crowd already, knowing what it more or less, what's
that's another
I
service.
think is supposed to be played there. But he gets to the point, put this now or put that now. I'm like, yo, let me do my job, bro. Like at the end of the day, I really, saying I don't have to be here. Of course, I'll make the money, but I don't have to be there.
That's interesting because I think that's something that not a lot of people know, unless you know a DJ and you've been behind the scenes. And not a lot of people know that that's part of the whole thing. That's while you're there, you're not just spinning records. You're looking at the crowd. You're reading the crowd.
Yeah.
Now, I know because not only have I, back in the days, you know what I mean, when I was younger, I would do little parties and all that around my neighborhood. But I remember standing right next to you while you're doing your work. You know what I mean? So I understand what it is to read the crowd.
Yeah. You know that's very important, bro, for any DJ to do is that. Because you could be in a crowd that's older and you're putting newer music and they're looking at you like, they won't fall into it unless there's younger kids already in it and, they're getting the party. So they'll jump in just to feel like, one of the guys or whatever. But if you put on some salsa, some older style 80s, 90s music, well, then they turning it up and the younger kids are going behind what they're doing if they want to be down. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? And that's very interesting because when we get further along in the episode, when we start talking more about business in depth and stuff like that, this is why we have Joel. Joel, what's up? How you doing?
Hi, Joel.
Guys, can you guys hear me?
All right. Here's something that's gonna come up. So I want Joel his time is limited, unfortunately, with us today. But his input is going to be very, very relevant to some of the stuff we're going to be talking about. Joel, please speak to us about the mere exposure effect.
Okay, so the mere exposure effect, according to the American Psychological Association, is an effect that's been studied and found where it's a psychological phenomenon where we tend to develop a preference for things that we're exposed to. This typically happens when we don't already have a negative bias towards that stimulus that we're being exposed to or whatever that may be.
All right, so hold on, let me translate. So that's basically saying that we have a tendency to listen to or be open to whatever it is that we're being surrounded by if we've never had a point of view towards it, like it's a new thing. Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't necessarily have to be new. The effect happens more prominently when we don't already have a negative view towards it.
Okay.
So a negative bias. It has to be a negative experience. If we don't have a negative experience towards it, then the effect is more likely to happen, right? Whatever we talk about psychology, it's typically tendencies and probabilities, not A, B, and C. This is exactly how we're going to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the effect is stronger when we don't know that we're being exposed to it.
Oh, subliminal.
Wow.
Yeah,
That makes
when
sense.
when we're not conscious about what we're being fed, if you want to put it more in ruder terms.
Yeah, I found out about this. I mean, I knew it in the back of my head. I didn't know that there was an actual name for it. I was watching a TED talk. I don't remember exactly who it was. And the analogy that he gave, it was like, you're used to listening to country music and nothing but country music and diehard country music. Your car breaks down and your neighbor's like, you know what, for the next 2 weeks, I'll take you to work. It's all right. But he listens to nothing but jazz and you absolutely hate jazz. And what he was saying is like, it's a scientific fact that by at least day 3, you will start tapping your feet to it, even though you don't like it, because of the mere exposure to it. So pretty much, I guess it's safe to say the human mind is genetically made to be programmed.
The brain, right? When we talk about mind, we don't know what a mind is yet.
Okay.
We don't equate mind with brain, but the human brain is equipped to learn. And it is equipped to you could say that learning is programming. You could definitely say that.
I can't.
Yeah. Right. With repetition, also we strengthen what would be those neurological pathways, right? So when we learn something, we create our neurons make a connection, and then the more you use it, the more readily available it is.
I could say that's relevant to actually the news, with like the way, I don't want to get into all politics or whatever, but as far as what they want to feed the people, if it's negative all the time and it's killings and this and that and they never applaud what's actually good. Or, every now and then they might have a segment or this, somebody did something good for the community, blah, blah, blah. But most of the time it's negative and negative. That's like with my mom's, and it's real bugged out because she watches the news a lot. So let's say she'll pop up in the room and tell me, oh my God, over here, they did this. And I'll be like, oh, here we go. I'm like, Mom, why can't you come inside and tell me something positive one day? Like, yo, look, they did this, something good. And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, I'm telling you why. It's because you watch the news too much. Like, y ella que es una persona miedosa. So, that's like what they want right now is to freaking put fear in people, honestly. So what they feed them is stuff. They're gonna feed them what's not good for them and what's negative. So what they're gonna think? Oh my God, this could happen. All that. That's gonna create fear, bro. That's propaganda. Put it that way.
And yet, at the same time, when we're talking, going back to what we're talking about, businesses,
be
it a product, be it a service, be it a company, you still have to create a need within the public. Otherwise, you have nobody to sell to.
Oh yeah, that sells. Believe me.
Well, it's really interesting that he brings up propaganda, because that is a technique. The propaganda is a technique.
Yeah, of course. The military. There's a military.
Not just in the military. It's a technique for business. It's propaganda can be one way or another. It's a kind of advertisement. It's a kind of way. Because I remember a lesson. I don't remember if I had to take the lesson. I think it was a history lesson or whatnot, but I do remember hearing different types of advertisement and either in English language arts or in social studies, that I remember seeing this is kind of way to get your message across, that this is available to you, or that something else is not good for you, so you need this. And once again, bringing back to what Joey was saying, that need. It's creating the mindset that, oh, this is necessary, so I need to find a way to get it.
Well, because I know Joel's time is short. I want to say what's up to Manny. Manny, how you doing?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
It's good.
Before Joel, because Joel, I know you got stuff to do. You know what I mean? I just want to get your point of view on this. True, I believe that humans are very prone to habit. Correct? Now, um, it's not this far, right? But I read this and it's interesting. Neophilia versus neophobia, and how a lot of us as consumers are caught constantly in between that. Now, neophilia is the love of something new, and neophobia is the fear of something new. Now, if we are creatures of habit, meaning that we're more towards the neophobia, we're afraid of change. I can be. I know I'll raise my hand on that one. You know what I mean? We're all sometimes reluctant to change something. But why is it that as consumers, we're always looking for something new?
There's always pros and cons, I guess, to everything.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to consumerism, we need to maintain the clear view of what Sandy already said and what you already said too, Joey. We're constantly being fed that we need things, or we're being convinced that somehow this product ties into our routine in our life, right? So
Gotcha.
it's not only that creation of a need for something new. It's no. You've been needing this because it goes with, we relate to you. We, the seller, relate to your life. We're human just like you, and we do this and we do that, and they'll find ways to tie in a product within your habitual. Yeah, the advertisement looks for that. It's like, this is something that you need on a daily, or there's something that you've been doing already. I'm just selling you the, I don't know, upgraded version of it, or the convenience of something new. Also, people, we do like habits. We are pretty, I would say, neophobic. Getting out of our comfort zone clearly is uncomfortable. But we're also creatures of adaptation.
What was that, Manny?
Besides living in a rat race, we're living on a human race. Everybody want to be first. Everybody want to have more than that guy. Everybody gets in constant debt just to look better than the next guy in front of his house. It's what he says, They create stupid things like Black Friday and dumb things like that for the cash. All this stuff is sell by then. Let's create something that's gonna make them sell and go out.
And all of these are tactics that are not indirectly but directly affecting the human mind, isn't it?
Yeah. Because they never.
Yeah.
It's like they constantly putting you in debt. Christmas, Easter, birthday, Hanukkah day, I don't know what else day that puts people in. And when you leave the house out there, at least in the United States, when you leave the house, you don't weigh less than $100 just stepping out of your house. It's like it's crazy, right? And that's everything is based on that. How can they keep feeding you that you got to keep buying into stuff? Yeah.
And why do you guys think that we pulled away? Because, okay, I guess I'm showing my age, old school, you know what I mean? Here in the States, you know what I mean? People want their stuff pre-seasoned. You know, let me get some chicken, but I want it with some lemon pepper, and I want it like this, and I want it like that. And then you season it up and you put it in some cellophane, and they take it home, put it in their fucking fridge. But I know for a fact, you give that same service in Puerto Rico, any old lady is going to look at you and go, pero tú te crees que yo no sé cocinar, pendejo? I raised 4 kids and so many grandkids. You think I don't know how to season my own meat?
Real shit.
Because there are still people who are like, why am I going to pay you to do this if I can do this shit myself?
That's facts.
But it's also being lost.
But you got to remember, you know what it is too? That there's people that not everybody's like grandma or moms or one of us maybe that we follow that tradition. Right now, everything is like technology is going, the food is going. You see, there ain't no seeds in food. What the fuck going on? You know, Cacique, you're a granjero. There ain't no seeds in food no more. Everything is cloned out, nigga. We practically
that Monsanto shit.
that they make. So it's like all that type of shit that they keep constantly just telling you this is what it is and that's it. In school, they give you clase vocacional. They'll teach you how to be an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter. Shit, that's the daily routine for the government to get cheese. If you're gonna do an electrician job, you gotta have a certificate for that. Guess who you gotta pay? The government. Every year you gotta keep renewing your shit. Or I got no time.
You gotta pay taxes on it also on your business.
So the government always gonna want. All right, this is the normal thing, the normal routine. Doctors or whatever. How long does it take a lawyer and a doctor to be a doctor, bro? Like you take loans in school to just to get to a level, then you basically all that goddamn bread and shit.
But I mean, look,
Yeah,
you got somebody right there who's working on it, Joel.
And my point is, they never teach you. And my point is that they never teach you how to be rich in school. When have you ever heard of a class that said, we're gonna show you how to be rich? You don't gotta bust your fucking ass. You ain't gotta break a nail. You ain't gotta go through that mental stress trying to find a fucking job or do. Yeah, nigga.
It's not even rich. I don't see it as being rich. I see it as working for yourself.
But you understand?
Most of the time, yeah, I understand though. It's being self-rich.
There's a whole lot of shit that we could do for ourselves. We don't have to work under nobody, right? You know, and if the government would understand that us about working for ourselves and at least putting a little bit over there, you know what I'm saying? Para que no den la queja completa, I think the country and everybody else will be a whole lot better, man.
Definitely. Joel, I know you got to bounce, Joel. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
I wanted to add.
Yes, please.
Maybe for another podcast, we could probably go into a little bit of the history of how consumerism was bred in the United States, for example, because it was heavily influenced, if not completely influenced, by Freud's psychoanalysis. And I think that
I didn't hear you. What was
that? Consumerism.
Oh, consumerism.
Yeah, in the United States was basically bred off of psychoanalytical principles based on Freud, which is one of the reasons why people are so disenchanted with psychology and why there's so many ethical standards to go by because of that abuse that you could do when you know how to persuade, when you know how the mind works, or how you can basically send in unconscious symbols. So when I was talking about how a lot of advertisements look to, or a lot of products look to tie in or convince you not only about a need, but that this product is already within your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two separate things. That's the pitch. Those are two separate things. It's not the same thing. Hey, you need this versus you've always been already using this. Just here, have it.
You know what's funny that you say that? All right, that's like one time I went to do a job for like a salesman, and like the dude that would sell a lot, he was like, okay, what's the difference between you going on a person's door and saying, how you doing? My name is this, and I'm selling this, right? And let's say I'm selling a book. Well, you give the person the book in their hand. And so you're just showing them. If you show them, they'll be like, okay, but if you put it in their hand, it's a whole totally different thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lure. Now they got it in their hand, and it's mental, I guess, right? Because it's the difference you're seeing it and holding it. But you'll like sell it more if you give it to them.
Hands, it automatically becomes theirs, no matter what it is.
More or less. Yeah, they'll touch it, feel it, open it, start looking at it, you know. And it's bugged out, but little shit like that, I guess, helps for whatever to be sold.
Yeah, it's like the foot in the door technique. Basically, it's hey, I have this product for you, and then you give them the product, and since I already have your attention, then you go into another product. Ya le vendiste uno, ya estás vendiendo segundo, tercero.
Exacto, man. La gente que se votan con eso, that they're really born for that, bro. They're born to sell.
Let's see if we do that on another podcast, but let's wait till after Christmas to make sure that all the kids get at least some type of gifts. We don't want any parents going, you know what? Fuck this shit, yo. Fuck this consumer shit. You ain't getting jack. Joel, thank you for your time, bro.
No problem, man. Anytime.
Guys, yes, sir. So,
what's up, everybody? How you doing, Cacique?
How you doing, mijo? Oh my goodness, it's good to see you.
This was the surprise, the triple beam in the place to be.
Yes, sir.
20 years later.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow, right?
All right,
Great.
so cool.
Looking great like a mofo.
Mira. Y aquí está. There goes the gray right
Sorry.
there.
We wear
That's
them
as
with
much as
pride.
it's going.
Fuck that.
All right, check this out. I got this question because we've all dealt with these two things as far as business, and I want to know if you guys find one harder than the other.
Okay.
Service or product. See, like this is my mentality, right? Boom. Service. Manny does tattoos. That's a service.
Yeah.
Right? Your masks, which looks absolutely gorgeous. I can see it behind you.
Yeah, dope.
Oh, I
That
didn't
big one,
realize
hell
it
yeah.
until I saw it.
Oh yeah.
That's a product. You know what I mean?
So,
When it comes to please show it. Please show it.
Yeah, he got a couple of
Please
joints,
show
bro. He
it.
been killing
Yo
it.
te voy a buscar uno. I want
He's
one
been
for my
killing it.
classroom.
Ooh.
Spaniard and shit from a job palm tree.
Dope, bro.
Beautiful.
The Taino in
They
the
got the
bottom,
dope.
the African in the way in the bottom over here.
Show the African. Show the African. Show that the part. You see, he told me it's not finished, but the way I saw it, I saw it as the Africans que habían that jumped off the ship.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, that piece is powerful no matter how you look at it. It's really
Yeah,
powerful.
he got a couple of joints, bro. But I've been killing it lately.
Ugh,
So
gorgeous.
earlier, I was talking with John Wayne. I was like, you know what? His DJing is a service. But once he puts it on CD, it's a product. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I train people in mixed martial arts. That's a service. But we make pasteles. I grow things for people to eat. Also, that's a product.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys figure there's one harder than the other?
You know what? They both got to complement each other because if you all
Yeah, fact.
you gotta know how to sell the product. If you know how to sell the product right, the service, obviously you gotta have good service for everything, bro. You know that's everything, but you gotta know how to fucking sell the product, bro. And there's people that Caciques, you know, remember when we was doing the triple beam shit? I had to get with the camera. We used to get there, nigga. How we used to gas the front door, man. Like, yo, we got a show here today. What's up? I'm on silent, blah blah blah. Nigga, I was whoa.
Yeah, hell yeah.
$100. Boom. We used to walk in like, holy shit, how is it? You know, like, boom.
Yeah.
That was.
You already know, Baba. Gassing a nigga hard body, like, yo, we in there, player. You know what's bugged out? That I as far as what you said, Joey, all right. I think I guess the trick is to make the product at one point sell itself, so you don't actually have to do the other as hard. If you have a real good product, it's gonna always sell itself, but not
But
in the
that's when
beginning.
advertising comes in, because how?
Oh
would
no,
they know
yeah,
that the
of
product is
course,
that good?
You do need to give it advertising. But at the end of the day, it's something that is really in need. That's when I watch Shark Tank. I love watching that show.
Yo,
So
facts.
Yes.
what they say most of the time, okay, that's coming up with an idea. So you got to think about something that's in need. What's needed here? What's wrong? Is the problem? Okay, how can I fix it? And once you do that, well, you have another product of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Wherever there's need for something, you got to come up for that. You know what I'm saying? And it's true.
Mm-hmm.
If something,
But,
you know what I'm saying?
So service for me is also extremely important because as a consumer, right? I'm more of a consumer than I am. I'm always going to be a businesswoman. Even as a child, my family's always had business. So, I don't know if you guys knew, when I was growing up, I grew up in Manhattan in El Barrio, and I was right across the street from La Marqueta. So in La Marqueta, my grandmother had a kiosk in La Marqueta. So I literally grew up in the Marqueta in the sense that yo corría I used to run throughout all of those kiosks. Hi. I ran through all of those kiosks. And I know, right? Camera tricks. Oh, there he is. Oh, and there he comes again. So and my grandmother, what she had was a small kiosk, like this, and something that anybody can get. It was milk, it was eggs, it was, very basic stuff. Tenía un pequeño bodega in the kiosk, right? But people would go to her because they liked her service, because they can come up to her and they would talk to her. They
Yeah,
love the fact that,
they feel
they can
comfortable.
just chit chat for a while and
Yeah,
hang out for a little while. It was a good service, and that's what they liked.
all right.
Besides the fact that
Of
she
course,
used to
that's
serve
very
us too.
important. Definitely,
Manny, tú
It
ibas a
very
was.
decir algo
important.
ahorita.
Service is everything, bro. Because even doing tattoos, bro. Like I do tats, and there's people sometimes that te la con la gente más, ya tú sabes that they assholes or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah,
straight up like, yeah, nigga, like the only asshole here, man. You know, you're a real asshole. And you're looking at him like, yeah, bro, like, and he'll notice at the end of everything, because you're like, and it's just giving them the right service. I think the right service is like atenderlo bien, mano, hacerlo sentir bien con el producto. You know what I'm saying? Hacerlo sentir cómodo and shit. Customer
yeah.
service, that type of shit. And people lost touch with that. They're like, vea, si tú no me lo dejas, cagame en tu madre, mamá. So they get crazy and
Facts.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because people are, I mean, I understand you have to be a bit capitalist. You know what I mean? Nobody is in a business to not make money. That's what the fuck a business is. You know what I mean? It's there to make money. And this is at least my personal issue with it, because I have an issue with it. You know what I mean? And it's like a personal thing between the product and the service. And it's that they say when you build something, there should be a passion behind it. Because let's be real, none of us are millionaires. We all still grinding, trying to build our stuff. You know what I'm saying? If we didn't have passion for it, we would have quit already.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this. You have to have a passion for it.
You gotta
What
love
you
it.
cannot do is be emotionally attached, because then your emotions will make the decisions. Now, my personal conundrum, I can sell product. You know what I mean? Look, this is worth so much. Well, then, yeah, here you go. Unit, so much. You know what I mean? I can do that. I worked in the meat department, and I was pretty good at it. I fuck with people. You know what I mean? I play the Godfather theme song and start going, hey, you don't want that. You want a fucking ribeye. And I shit you not, the sale would go from $30 to $100 and something in an instant like that. I'd make them buy shit that they didn't fucking need, no doubt. But when it comes to service, like either the music or the martial arts, it's so much passion and it's so much of myself in it that I can't even put a price on it.
That's funny you say that, because I was just thinking about that.
Very, very difficult. I
was just thinking about that
because I don't know what to ask for, or I sell myself, which is sell myself very, very short.
Yo, a friend of mine he's always trying to get give me business tips and all that stuff, and music a lot, and just regular stuff. And it's true. He tells me, don't sell yourself short, bro, because then always people will try to fucking te siempre te van a querer. I'm gonna say, yo, I sell this at $50, and they'll be like, oh, coño, but you used to sell me at 25. I'm like, yeah, that was then. This is now. Like Fabio said, yesterday's price is not today's price, papa. That's it. But ella con esta, si la quiere, y si no lo quiere, pues ya tú sabes. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna keep, you gotta know, and eventually, that's the DJ shit. Oh, for 4 hours, yo le digo a fulano, I charge this much. Acho, papi, pero tú eres loco. I'm like, oh, manito, but I'm sorry, bro. Búscate otra persona. I used to be like, all right, pues, fuck it, let me not lose all the money, and I'll do it cheaper, just to, gain some type of money. But I don't do that now, bro. I try not to anyway. As far as like with certain people, yo brego, calle, porque we humble too, It's not like we all uppity type niggas, but when you in a business and you want to really be business, probably you have to always have the same freaking price, step price.
You gotta be
step
shrewd with it.
People will know, yeah, that's your price, bro, and that's my price here and everywhere for everybody. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, whether they want the discount, the homie discount, or esto si lo otro, and you come to see, your own people will buy somebody else's product and won't fucking support you, bro. That shit is insane, my nigga.
But you know what? And that's what Katika was saying. I have that same problem, bro. I either underprice myself. What's up, man? All right. I either underprice myself or something, and I like, I don't want to let and there's things that we do with a passion, the art, tattoos.
Yeah. It's something that we love. I understand.
Teaching. I used to tutor, and it's the same thing.
That nigga, like, yo, get that money, fuck all these niggas, and I ain't gonna front. You know, I'm still like, for my hood, I'm soft on it. Come through, get your tag, bring some coffee.
Yeah.
How about that's me already, my nigga. But
everybody, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you win losing. That's definitely.
From 2019 or 2020 on, bro, I learned how to say no, bro.
No,
bro.
Good.
That's what's up, bro.
I said, bro, I have to learn how to say no, nigga. Like, no, like, it was sad that it just came out, nigga.
Now, do you?
I was always a nigga like, no, espérate, está bien, vamos, da un break en eso, pero sí, está bien, mira, dale, now nigga is like.
Pero Manny, do you think that was a personal decision, a business decision, or both?
Nah, it's not personal. I think it's just business. I think it's business, but you know what? It's just not to do it with anybody, with everybody. It has to be
exactly.
Them. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't be with just everybody, bro. You know, like, you know who the If somebody particular, like, that's a business move playing chess. Like, you ain't getting nothing now, but later on, I'll see you down the line, and I'm gonna get that back. You understand, right? You don't have to be money and connection that you're gonna use down the line, and you don't gotta ask for shit. But boom.
Yeah. Marisa has here. On the topic of putting a price on your work, what do you think about products/services by donation? For example, Radiohead released an album a few years back and encouraged fans to pay what they could or wanted to pay for the album.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's so dope, bro. That's really dope.
As a consumer.
That's passion. Having to pay.
They've done it with albums.
But it's still passion.
They've done it with albums too. I think that dude that died from LA, he sold his album for $100 each album. And he made like $100,000 out of that. That was his first album, but he sold it for $100. And there was people that have done that. They sold their album instead of, let's say, $29 or $30, whatever. They sell it $100 or $200. So if you want it, well, that's the price. You know what I'm saying? If it's a real dope artist that you really like, bro, you're gonna end up spending that $100. Aunque tú creas que es freaking caro, but if you really want to hear that person, you'll buy it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Unfortunately, nowadays it's been happening for at least a decade. You know what I mean? It's always happened. You know what I mean? But it goes back to how we started, the mere exposure effect. Not everything that's considered to be top notch is actually top notch.
Top notch, yeah. That depends on the person. Like, if you like it, if you think it's top notch, it's top notch to you. You know what I'm saying? If you're a fan of that person in particular and shit. But all around, bro, I don't know. The government and the hustle and every dollar is attached to $1 and all that. That's a hustle just from the mere freaking beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, imagine that $1 debt is every dollar they print is another dollar attached to that they owe.
That's crazy. My nigga. We probably will never know the real truth, nigga.
Well, now that we started talking about money, here's another point of interest that has to do with small businesses and entrepreneurship. Anybody and everybody who's watching this, either live now or further along the line, this is very important. The risks of investment. You have to take that into account no matter what fucking business it is. No matter what you're selling, no matter what you're doing, from making bread to cleaning fucking toilets.
Yes, sir.
There is a risk of investment.
So invest in a business, you saying?
Any business. Any business.
You have to. You have to. It's all about independence, bro. And that's what everybody, they don't seem to understand. It's all about independence within yourself. Don't wait for the next nigga to be like, raise the flag. Yo, we independent. Nah, nigga. It's like, you have to be self-independent as a human being, bro. And if you really want to do it,
let me break this down for those who are watching that may not understand where I'm coming from. It's like, okay, Manny and his tattoos. The risk of investment starting is that, okay, I need these needles. The needles are supposed to come in 2 weeks. He has a client in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden, boom, the needles are going to get here 3 weeks later. Fuck, you just lost a shitload of money. You just started losing money and messing up the business. Those are risks of investment, especially initial investment that we all take. Gardening, farming. I hope that everything goes good, and I trust in where I get my seeds from. Because I either get them from myself or I get it from trusted companies, and from wherever. I'm not a farmer. But you never know. All of a sudden, there's a snow frost. You know what I mean? Or a bunch of fucking
you always deal with the pros and the cons.
Those blackbirds ate up all your fucking fields. There's always a risk of investment, and I think everybody should take that into account.
Yeah, definitely, bro. And then whatever is it that you get in the ganancia from what you invest, the difference in that always is supposed to be a certain number, so you can actually have a good business. Because if you're doing it at let's say like today, I invested $15. I'm only making $40 back. So that's not a good. I'd rather sell it the way I'm doing it, which Baba knows what I'm talking about. I don't want to sell it, but I'll say it like that. But y'all know. So the way I'm doing it in bulk, I'd rather not do it in bulk. I'd rather do it little by little. That's like, I guess, and anything else. You know what I'm saying? The more you're selling, the more you're making. You know what I'm saying?
What they told me when I started doing tattoos, the only thing you can't let run low is needles. What Tasika was talking about. You can't let needles run low. You always got to have stacks of needles, regardless. Because maybe 2 or 3 months, you ain't doing shit. The momentum, boom. 1 week, still needles in. And,
does my ass.
And it's like Tasika said, el tiempo se va y eso. And another thing, man, the market right now that I think is so open for everybody, bro. For everybody and anybody. If they know how to do it, it's cooking, bro. It's cooking, my nigga. It's food. I'm getting to that market right now. That's why I'm starting to do my thing right now in the food industry, and I think that's where I'm gonna take it, man. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's like selling drugs, but legit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets everything. You know what I'm saying? And people want to eat. They don't want to cook no more. You don't see nobody cooking. So
you know why? Because they took it out of the school. Okay. So before, they used to have something as simple as home economics, where you learned how to cook, do your basics in school. Now, not only that, did they not only take it out of school, everybody is working. That includes the parents that's going to teach those kids how to cook. They're busy working. Those kids have to do whatever by themselves. So they have these ready-made foods, or go get something out because I don't have time to make a meal for my family. Okay, whatever it is. So you do have families that take the time to teach their kids, and they know how to cook. But you have a lot of families that either don't have the time, they're rushing, they have 2 and 3 jobs. So where's that time to be able? You'll hear people say it, because I ask them why. They always ask, Miss Lisis, you always bring your food in, and I'm like, why not? It's expensive to be eating out every day. Why are you buying a $6 to $7 drink of coffee every day, twice a day, 3 times a day, when I can, mira, yo tengo la greca y el botelo.
Look, we have here a question. Could you break down what is investment risk? Is it time, money up front, materials, or is it really the plus minus on the balance sheet? I would say all.
Yeah, sounds like
I would say all, but specifically money. Because none of us have, usually when you make a small business or you're an entrepreneur, you're working on your own costillas. You're working on your own bones, you know what I mean? So at least me, in my point of view, the initial money that you put into it is very, very, very important. You know what I mean? On
that, unless you have somebody to invest. A lot of times, real big businesses are not self-owned, bro. They're freaking like 10 people. They merge together to make a freaking, let's say, a Google and or this or that, and everybody. Oh, I want to buy you out, but they buy you out, and they still like 3 or 4 people having, you know, saying to deal with that company or whatever. When it's small businesses,
materials is also a factor. I guess. Oh, you know what? Materials. I'm gonna break materials down like this. As far as what I believe, Manny, you correct me because I'm gonna use your art as an example, right? Your initial investment, you can't. Somebody like Manny wouldn't be able to say, yeah, you know what? I got 30 of these pieces for you, exactly 4 feet tall. I got you, no doubt. But he hasn't gone out to the monte or to the beach to find the materials yet.
Right.
Yeah.
He has to make sure he invests his time and his money and gas and his effort to go get those materials first.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
The actual getting of the materials would be the initial investment.
Then the markers, the paint,
investment risk at that, because he doesn't know if he's going to get them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So I gotta go out and get them. And right now it's like, and they haven't even banged out. I haven't put nothing online. Nothing. All these things has been pictures that I've been saving and all that. I haven't put nothing online. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a shitload of people just calling in for this shit, bro. It's something clásico, like en la Jaguar, en una parte de La Palma que lo único que han hecho con eso son los barcos. O sea, nunca la han cogido para hacer esto, para ahora mismo hacer esto, mano. Ve, esta es la Jaguar de La Palma y le hacen la bandera o cualquier otro arte que le hagan al
Qué
frente.
bello.
Pero para hacerle la bandera que sea específico, la bandera, ponérsela ahí a esa pieza, este Puerto Rico, una palma de aquí. I haven't been done in it.
Not only that, your signature on it too. The way you do the signature in the back with the gold thing, that's dope as hell.
Oh, yeah. I use the gold. The gold is, you know,
The trademark.
Memoria de los taínos, mano, que murieron por el oro, brother. Nos saquearon por el oro, so yo lo que hago es spray paint the gold, and then just, you know, it's like a thumb mark, and then I just sign my initials over it.
Well, you know, I have seen those things painted like that before, but this is when I first went to Puerto Rico in '87. I must have been like 11 years old, and then all of a sudden,
woof, gone.
So,
Yeah, true.
Gone.
So
Like completely gone.
You can imagine, bro, like that's, it's the lost in translation. I don't even remember ever seeing one like that, like painted. So it was like
painted to that point. No. Here we go again. Don't sell yourself short. Paint it like that.
I get it.
Bro. That's some top-notch shit you got there. Straight
no,
up
that's
and down.
Thank you, bro. Thank you,
But
man.
the actual using those things, I remember seeing them. You know what I mean? In Moca, in San Sebastián, and like the Fiesta Patronales there. But then
And that's what I think.
Fiesta Patronales ended up turning into a place to fight, fuck, listen to music, drink, and they forgot
Play
about
pica. Don't forget the pica.
You know one
Your
thing,
ATH machine.
You know one thing I really que de verdad I would turn back in time and do if I start again is going when I was in school, take music classes and art classes. You know what I'm saying? Because to learn the real stiff culture of the island and the artists from that time now. Right now I take bomba classes, I take fucking voy a empezar a coger la clase de tallar, and I'm already tallando with that shit, but I want to take it for somebody that would be a bloodline connected in artesanal that I'll be like, nah, I took it from here. Like with the bomba shit, I took regular classes with Jamie, 353 Studios de Mayagüez. But el seis corrido, que es un ritmo específico de la bomba, que lo inventaron en Loíza, I chose to go over there and take it over there. So you know what I'm saying? From that place over there. Exactly, bro. So yeah, man, and it's just showing that respect and that fucking honor.
So there goes what Marisa was talking about the initial investment, your inspiration to, because she says that the initial risk or investment is your passion to want to actually get into this, you know. And that is, she has a great point. That is an initial investment that you have. Do you really want to do this? But at the same time, you got somebody like Joey who never thought that he would be teaching people martial arts. Never. That was never.
I never wanted to.
Never thought of it.
Me personally, I think self-defense is important. I always did it. I always told these niggas, y'all gotta do this. Y'all got to do that. You know what I'm saying? I boxed. I took Shotokan. I took Kung Fu back in the day. Like, I did different stuff, and I learned different stuff. And you learn stuff, you just to learn and know how to defend yourself. Learn how to teach your kids how to defend themselves. Because, it's fucking out there, you know? And if your kids don't know how to defend themselves, it's going to be bad for them. So they learn that, you know what I'm saying? And it's just about that, man. And it's just telling everybody, stay in condition, stay doing this. I always told you niggas, stay fit, stay in condition. You never know, niggas.
That's cool. You said that specific word, learning, because I was reading up on Mark Cuban. Because guys, those who are watching, we always do some type of investigation or studies on everything that we bring to you. We shoot the shit, but we try to shoot the shit intelligently. You know what I mean? So I was reading about Mark Cuban, and he was saying, looking for that knowledge. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be in a college or being taught by somebody, but if you have that opportunity, jump on it like Manny's doing, you know what I mean? Jump on that opportunity and take it.
Yeah, you learn hands-on.
A lot of people make the mistake on what it is that's holding them back. And he's saying, do the knowledge because, and I'm going to quote him, resources and opportunities aren't always the main root of success or fails.
Right.
And that's fucking deep right there. A lot of people think,
I think
nobody gave me the chance.
The best thing,
because you guys,
the best thing I think,
if you don't have the initiative,
there you go.
Take that action. You will not do it.
Exactly.
You can have everything. There's people that got studios with all the keyboards in the walls and the top of the ceiling, and they don't know how to do shit with it. And there's people that got one fucking keyboard, one computer, one thing, and they just. Where you was Dr. Studio, nigga? Nah, my basement. What? And then comes to that, man.
Yeah, bro. It's just start, bro. Whatever idea you think you want to do, just try it. That's it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least you tried it. And if more ideas, and I always think about that, it's bugged out because when I be talking to people, boom, boom, I like to think about crazy stuff and this will be dope, even with Baba, with whoever. And a lot of times, if you got a real dope idea, you shouldn't share it with everybody, which is true. I agree, right? But to me, that's just an idea, bro. Like, all right, let's say you have an idea, somebody makes it, and they take it from you, and they make millions of dollars. You can't blame him he's the one, you had the idea, you didn't do it, he did it. You know what I'm saying?
That should always just happen, bro. Because there's people around you that's all they do, man. They sit around you and listen. There's actually a I was talking to my man, and my man, we be building, he out there. His name is Joel, Celebrity Barber. Shout out to him.
You told me about it.
He relates with people that they sit down, and they actually pay people just to listen to ideas. They'll sit down in the circle.
Investors.
And he'll be like, yo, come over, let's go in this chat. Let's make believe. Boom. I got down in the chat, and we all just talking about crazy ideas. And I'll just send y'all to check after here. Oh, here goes your bread.
Those investors,
It's over. You know what I'm saying? He just run with that. Call a couple of investors. Yo, what's up? Link something up. Come up for like $1 million point something, 1 million point something, or $2 million.
They get percentages,
And he just flipped an idea.
Yeah, that's what virtually business is.
Actually sitting down with other people and getting their feedback is doing the knowledge.
That's great.
It falls under doing the knowledge and learning.
Of course. A lot of times you're going to learn hands-on, though.
Check this out. Everybody who's watching this, somebody all right, let's say I'm going to use John Wayne for an example, right? I used to think that I wasn't learning because I wouldn't read novels or books, and Sandy corrected me on that. You know what I mean? Yes, I do read. I just read what's relative to what it is that I want to learn. Somebody like John Wayne, at the time that he started, I'm not trying to put him as ancient, but at the time that he started DJing, there weren't no books, DJing for Dummies or DJing 101 or Cool Herc wrote this fucking book on how to DJ. He had to watch people. He had to listen for the details, how they move this. John Wayne will look at DJ Premier doing something one way, But John, when he looks at them, he's looking at them at a completely different way.
Uh-huh.
That's still doing the knowledge.
No, of course, you definitely gotta. If you love your craft, bro, you're always gonna want to know more about your craft. And I eventually teach others to do it too. Like, you know, you don't want to fucking know. So I'm not the type of person to know how to do something good and not want to show anybody else how to do it. There's a lot of people that live that way now. A lot of people live that way now. They're like, yo, I do this. Oh, I'm the only one that does this way. Like, and they'll put their money on that. Like, that's what makes it sell, because it's something that not everybody does, or blah, blah, blah.
Exclusive.
Exactly. That's which is dope.
From everybody else doesn't mean that you should flood the market with that. I can fuck it. I'm gonna say it. Yo, censor. I'm not even gonna put up the censor. I can start putting my hat over my balls. It doesn't mean that it's supposed to go there.
No, you know what I seen the other day was funny. It was some Brooklyn shit.
Does it. Yeah, I'm exclusive.
Yo, I seen some crazy Brooklyn shit. They had like a hat, a regular, you know, new era hat, and this shorty had folded it, like, you know, how they have it on the shelf.
Are you talking about the bra?
Oh my god, bro! I started cracking up. I said to myself, "Why should this be a thing, bro? Some Brooklyn shit. You see females with two hats as bras and shit. Like, come on, man. It's stupid, but I've seen worse. I swear."
No.
What do you guys think about this? This is something that I read, and I had to write it down to share with you guys. All companies know what to do. If they already have a company doing X or Y, they know what to do. They know how to do their stuff, right? Some companies know how to do it. Not everybody builds everything that has to do with what they do. You know what I'm saying? They can, just because you sell cell phones doesn't mean that you know how to make a cell phone.
Right. Okay. Follow.
Okay.
Not many. It's very rare to find businesses, companies, and especially small businesses. And this is something that us as entrepreneurs should always look at, is why we're doing it. What is the purpose of our business? It shouldn't be money, because money is actually a result.
Money, yo, everything has to do with money, bro.
It depends what you answer, I guess.
At least for us, you know, for us it's more personal. At least whatever I'm doing with this right now is more personal for me, and then, you know, it keeps me in tune with the island and all that. Besides me making a living off of it or whatever, etc., etc. You know, but at the end of the day, everybody external from everything else too, bro, it's bread, nigga. It's bread. It's like, no matter how you cut it or slice it, everybody just don't give a fuck about nothing. Everybody to get bread.
I mean,
nigga.
I can definitely see the why.
Yo, I want 25%. Nigga, hasta diezmo. Hasta diezmo por allá. Oye, Guillermo, ¿tú pagaste? Yeah, ahora en cartera, like, even them niggas is grinding.
Because I mean, I can see the why of. I'm gonna use you as an example, right? I can see the why of your art, because I literally have not seen somebody do that type of art in 35 years.
Wow.
And it's something that I know for a fact. If Taínos painted themselves, pottery, and everything around them, I think that it's safe to say that they used to paint those too. So the why is because you're saving the culture. And the money would be a result of your passion and your work preserving that culture.
That's exactly how I see it, bro.
Not many people take that. This is what one of the things I was learning today, that a lot of businesses, small businesses that fail, is because they can't even answer that on their own. Like they can't look at themselves in the mirror and go, why am I doing this? Well, to make money. Money is a result of something. So why are you doing it?
Yep.
You know,
I say myself.
I like to teach martial arts because I was bullied when I was younger. So under my watch, no other kid is gonna fucking be bullied.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Not a bit.
You may try it once. That shit ain't passing more than once. You know what I mean? You're gonna learn on the first one. You know what I mean? And I can say that because I've had kids that at the beginning of the year, they get to me all timid. 3 months after, they're walking around like they own the place, yet they're still humble because they're at peace because ain't nobody trying to fuck with them. I know the why. And when I get paid for doing this, that's a result of that passion. But that's something that unfortunately not a lot of entrepreneurs get to absorb. And that should be something also in life, not just business.
For me, I'll tell you the truth. I just put to what I'm doing, and I put it to what I love to do, which is the DJing thing. And even that gets to be a job because a lot of times I have a good time, but a lot of times it's like Baba said, you meet certain people that are just there to freaking bust your balls. Oh, mira, ponte esto, papi. Tacho, ponte la nueva de este fulano, aquel. And you're like, dale suave, papi. Sí, sí, ahorita. If the person comes and puts $1 in my tip jar, or $5 or $10, well, then that's more business. I'm like, you know what?
That's motivation.
That's
business. You pay for the service. El otro tipo doesn't even, not even $1. Yo, ponte eso, papi, dale, dale. Like, if you have to put it on. And I look at this fool like, papi, yo, you crazy? I don't have to do shit. I'm like, yo, dale suave. Si yo quiero, yo la pongo. Fíjate de eso. You already know. If people ask politely, if there's people that ask politely, yo, ¿tienes esta canción? It all depends how you treat the person. If you come to me nicely in a nice way and tell me, yo, negrito, tiene esta canción, boom, boom. I understand that you probably can't give me $1 or $2 or whatever, but don't come to the person and tell them like if they gotta do it when you're there for free, bro. You crazy? Ain't nobody paying me to go there. I look at this, you know, it could be a female or a man, whoever. I'll be honest. Like, you know, now if it's in a place that they're paying me, then I'm going there knowing I'm getting paid. Those type of people, I have to be nice to them, obligado, because I don't want to, you know, I want to keep spinning in that place. So I'm going to have to, you know, como Baba dijo ahorita, like, I can't want that presión sometimes in the business with people. That's the worst thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst. But that's the business. You already know. That's what it is.
That's a fact, nigga.
Sandy, what you got?
I was thinking about the why, and for me, it's real easy to find the why for what it is that I do as far as my career is concerned. The money helps because if I have to stress about other things, then I can't focus on what I do.
But
and that's just the fact. And if I'm not comfortable doing what I do, then I'm going to find another place to do my job and be comfortable. You know what I mean? I've been, I mean, I hate to say it, but at the same time, it's the truth. That pandemic stopped me from quitting my job because I was turning into a bouncer rather than a teacher. You know it's bad when you're over here doing jujitsu on a stairwell with an 8th grader because I had to calm down my 8th grader and I'm over here literally rolling in jujitsu with this 8th grader on a stairwell. So, you know, as far as having to, you know, my whys, that's not why I became a teacher. If I wanted to compete in jujitsu or teach jujitsu, then I would have gone ahead and done something else. You know what I mean? That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people. So my why is what brings a teacher. And as far as anybody who runs into, you know, as far as my career is concerned, that why is what brings us to work every day, because I can give you 10,000 reasons why not to. You know, I can give you 1,001 reasons right now why not. And it definitely, money is not a motivator for what we do. There's not enough money for what we do and what we got to go through.
That's right.
But as far as the
oh my goodness, this is so funny.
Priota and Kimura's, oh fuck. There you go. But you know, but as far as the why is concerned, the why is it that I do what I do is because I love helping people. It's because I want to be the teacher that I needed and that you guys needed when we were in school and we didn't have. You know, the reason why I'm a teacher the way I teach and I mean all the stories. I went to class with Joey. Those of you who don't know, Joey and I went to high school together. And we've had class together, and we know, you know, and we knew what kind of teachers we had, and we knew what we needed, and we didn't have that support, neither at home, neither in school. So we only had each other. And that's not fair for, for a young person to have to deal with all the growing pains that you got to deal with. And then on top of that, have to learn how to figure this out on their own. I mean, Generation X, that's why we be who we be, because we've had to learn how to do things on our own. But as far as the why, well, because I had to go through that. Not everybody is as lucky as I am that found another way to make things better, because I could have easily taken a turn for the worse. And
well, here's another interesting little fact that I picked up. Right now I can't reference exactly where from, but it's almost as if us, the Generation X here, almost as if we were predestined to be entrepreneurs due to the fact that so many of us had to learn how to do so many things on our own.
Yeah, we did.
Right.
So it's those of you who are watching this show who think, well, I'm going to come up with an idea, I'm going to get somebody to back it up, and that's it. As soon as I buy this, I'm done. No, there is so much more. You can find yourself making 200 flyers for, let's say, a party or something like that with a magic marker, no printer. You know what I'm saying?
Be right back. Be right back.
Yes, sir.
No doubt, no doubt.
There are just so many factors that unless you learn how to do it yourself, you'll never make that full, that you won't reach that full potential. It's like, I know a lot of people who continuously say, I want to get into clothing, right? And it's like, okay, cool. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to print t-shirts. All right.
Okay.
But I've heard of at least 50 other people who also want to print t-shirts. What's going to make you different? You know what I mean?
The cricket killed that idea.
And it's because a lot of people think, well, if I can sell at least this many thousand, I make this much money, I'm good. They see it as a hustle. A small business, you can't look at it as a hustle because it comes and goes just like that. You know what I mean?
Unless you got a firm job, you know what? Everything else, every extra activity that we do, it's more like we just doing something that we like. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to have a regular job. If not a regular job, for the day-to-day living. That's honest truth and that's real shit. But after that, whatever you do after, man, it's a side hustle. It's a side hustle, and it brings you closer to whatever's going on in the atmosphere. Bro, I got it.
My bad to cut you off, Baba. You know what I think is the difference about what you're talking about, to be honest? The only thing is that on one of the other jobs, and the real job you're saying, you have to pay, even in yours, you got to pay taxes. But you're paying them for yourself, at least. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about.
I'm going to tell you something. When I'm talking about a regular job, you need a regular job to jumpstart. But you can't.
Wow, see?
Nigga, I'm going to tell you something, bro. It's like regular job, and you already thinking plan A, B, and C. Like, all right, I got to do. Like, my official venture after this job I got will be like, like a food jump off. That's it. After that.
But think about it. But then you're going to do that full time, no?
Of course.
Once you get the food truck, if you like the food truck, if it's more your passion, you're going to actually eventually forget about the other job and do your job for yourself full time. That's what I'm talking about. The difference.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Once you have certain stable, you're making bread, like right now you good. You got that DJ thing that you be doing for the regular paycheck type shit. You know what I'm saying? You come off like that. So you already starting your shit. You starting a brand right now. That Jello Shot Coquito nigga, brand, bro. You have to stick to that hard. You got to brand it and make that come up legit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something else. That's next level shit, bro.
That's this is right what I tell a lot of people, like specifically when they speak to me about the shirts. I'm like, well, okay, you know what I mean? I understand you want to get into clothing and making shirts is the way for you to get that. Have you ever thought about actually getting into textiles? if you got 50 guys, this is just the mentality that I've been trying to pick up. If you got 50 guys already making t-shirts, why should I worry about being number 51 making the t-shirts when I can make the material and sell to them so they can make their t-shirts? It's bigger margin. You see what I'm saying?
You got 50 guys that they looking for the material, and if you was to serve them the material, there's 50 clients you have up front.
So that's
the middleman. In other words, cutting out the middleman.
Well, I think if you want to, and this is just like I said, I haven't become a millionaire yet. Hopefully, you know what I mean, soon enough. Speaking to the universe, you know what I mean. But I think that if you're gonna like actually push yourself to be a small business, be an entrepreneur, have your own shit, you should be your own middleman. You shouldn't even think about a middleman. And your plans from the get-go should be eliminating the middleman.
Facts. I agree.
The middleman ain't doing nothing but taking money off your pocket for something that he can just put you there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I believe in I always tell people, man, I believe in the Scottie Pippen theory, bro. Jordan won't be Jordan without Scottie Pippen, my nigga. Scottie Pippen was that man. This is what he did. Check it. Nigga, don't give a fuck. Your head. That's it. That's what you gotta do. People don't want to learn how to do that. People want to learn to be on the front line, the flossing nigga. Nah, I got it. I did it. Nigga, no, man. Just pass that shit. Nigga, hey.
And I mean, no matter how proud you are of your product, shouldn't it be the audience or the consumer that decides whether or not you're the best? And it should stay with them.
I mean, yeah, man.
Maybe I like Coco Lope from, Coco Lope, and you like Goya. Maybe I like Boillo, and this other person like, you know what I mean?
That's all about branding, yeah.
That's right.
Y gusto. No todo el mundo le gusta ketchup encima de los pasteles.
Yo sí, carajo. Yo sí, ¿qué pasa? ¿Y qué pasa? What the
fuck? Como el beef.
All right. Boom. Okay. This is something that was more like a point of view of people themselves, not just of entrepreneurs, but of people themselves. But it happens to fall into this because it stops a lot of possible entrepreneurs from actually pushing forward and trying to get something done, right? And it's people will never rise above their own opinion of themselves.
Oof.
How's that?
I'm not good enough.
Sometimes that's like selling yourself short, in other words.
Oh.
You should never think I can't do this if you haven't even tried it. It's like when I train my athletes, I don't let any of them say I can't. I'll accept I can't yet. Because that subconsciously is telling my athlete I'm gonna get there. You know what I'm saying?
That's impossible, man. I've done so much shit that
But you see,
it's great.
Support group is important because we had yes, I can attest to that struggle too. Yes, Marisa, I can attest to that struggle too.
The important thing is to start.
When we had the side hustle, when we were in Puerto Rico, I had a side hustle. I used to sell cookies and pie. I don't know if you guys remember that. And it was a good side hustle. My initial investment, every week I would go and get my compra. I would try to find the right, prices. They have the apples on sale. Let me bag those or whatever the case would be. I need flour. I would have to get a certain kind. There were certain brands that I would never forgive. I had to have this kind of vanilla. I had to have this kind of sugar. But I definitely
Can you hold that for a quick second? Cross your fingers so you can remember exactly what you're gonna say. That's another risk that small businesses, when you're dealing with product, also you have to go through. If you make a recipe, that you're thinking about doing food, if you have a recipe that needs this specific tomato in that sauce, the second you change it for a different tomato because it's more cost effective to make bigger margins, you done fucked that shit up.
You have to keep everything intact. I have a recipe for pancakes, nigga. It's crazy. Nigga, y'all do breakfast. So, you know, it's like, nigga, if you fuck up on that, nigga, it's like, forget about it. It's not going to taste the same. It could be saggy as hell. You'll be pissed. You know what I'm saying? It'll be nice, fluffy, hard. Yo, nigga, recipe got to be crazy, bro.
I can attest. Manny makes some banging pancakes.
I
wasn't enough of them.
I gotta find out. I haven't had the pancakes. I gotta find out.
Chacha, that was the triple beam lunch right there.
Yeah.
What?
Aww, nostalgia.
Hell yeah.
But mira, but I would never have thought of actually getting into selling my cookies and pie had it not been for bro who said, Manita, you got to start selling these cookies. Porque ya está bueno, you're baking these cookies. They're amazing. People will pay for these. And I'm like, and then we came to the first question. How do I know how much to sell them? You know, because I don't know what people can pay for, you know, these cookies and when I was making these cookies and I was making everything with a wooden spoon, guys. I did not have any I didn't even have an electric beater. Okay. My son got me the beater. It's like, Mom, you're making a lot of cookies. Because I would make at least 145 cookies a night and 10 pies a night.
Damn.
Yes, it was a business. It was a business. And I would I would put in $20 and I'd make about 120, something like that. So I would, you know, so yeah.
The margins are good. Those are good margins.
Yeah, but that's just $20 of only food. That's not including the gas. That's not including the transportation. You know, so those are the things you have to think about, and the product for you to be able to package them and all of that. That's all those things you have to take under consideration. And the fact that it was just by hearsay, I didn't advertise my cookies. You know, I was lucky enough that I sold my cookies in my classroom. I was very lucky. I couldn't do that. I wasn't supposed to do that, but everybody knew. And I looked like
goes hand in hand, kids and cookies.
As soon as I walked in, and it was the packaging because I put them in my picnic basket. And then as soon as my kids see me with my picnic basket, they're like, "Espérate, Miss Felicia llegó," and I'd look like the Pied Piper walking, and they were right behind me, just all of them in a trail.
Oh yeah,
getting the cookie on, you know?
On the cookies, man.
We're none of that crack candy.
Let me get some cookies.
He told me to sell them. And I was like, I don't know if I could, but I probably wouldn't have even considered it had I not been surrounded by my grandmother with her business, surrounded by my mom and my stepdad with their business, because that was my first experience, you know, being within the business. My secretarial skills, the way that I talk to people on the phone, I got at home because my house phone was the business phone. So from X amount of time to X amount of time, I had to answer the phone, buenas noches, you know, and I had to do it a certain way and learn how to take orders. And then, you know, and
once again, cross your fingers so you can remember. People, phone etiquette is very important. That is a lost art. When you pick up the phone, go,
hello.
Hello.
Dímelo.
Hello.
The infamous Cincinnati goose.
Huh?
That's not the way to answer a fucking phone, straight up. Even if you know
shit.
If you Cincinnati goose like that on purpose, if you know the person, don't even fucking pick up. Go ahead, continue.
Yo, to continue on that note,
funny, bro.
I teach middle school ELA, right? So I teach 7th and 8th grade this year, but I usually teach middle school ELA. And I teach my 8th graders how to sit down on an interview, how to answer questions, not how to stand properly when they're being interviewed, how to shake a hand, how to present themselves, because they don't know
contact, all that stuff.
Eye contact. Everything, how to answer yes please and no, yes, you can do the yes ma'am, no ma'am. We're in the Midwest, so they understand that that's a cultural thing. Yes ma'am, no sir, that's a cultural thing. They all know how to do that, but they feel like they're being reprimanded. And I'm like, you don't have to sound like you're being reprimanded just because you're answering yes ma'am or no sir, you know. So it's just like, I teach them this. I help them with their resume because these kids don't have any work experience, so how are they going to get a resume? I was like, but you do clean your house. Do you know how to have you ever babysat? Have you ever washed a car? Have you ever done somebody's yard? These are skills that you have that you don't know how to present them as I know how to do this.
Uh-huh.
These life skills are things that you can put on a resume and that you can set up and it can help you with the job. So I
Uh-huh.
teach them how to word it correctly. I was like, you need to give me a list of the things that you've done. Some of them already have
Yeah, that's important on the resume.
jobs. Yeah, exactly. But and then I had to go in and I had to relearn how to give how to give a resume again, because the resume that I had is not the same resume that you have right now. So being that I'm a creature of habit, going back to habits, and I don't like to jump around from job to job a lot, especially when it comes to my profession, because it takes
Mhm.
time to develop a repertoire with your students in order to be able to be effective with your teaching. So the first year is just getting to know you, and it takes a long time for them to get to learn who you are, for you to get to learn who they are. And as a teacher, I get to pick up faster, but the kids take longer to trust you, especially with the kids that I work with. They
Well,
don't
that happens
Um,
everywhere, or at least it's just very similar to when I used to work in the meat department.
Mhm.
You don't want to go buy flesh that you're going to consume from just anybody.
Yeah, people are picky about who they're going to work with.
And
Same
rightfully
thing,
so. Rightfully so.
rightfully
I
so.
mean,
But that's what it
with
is with
food,
people, I think.
you can poison the person physically. With bad education, you poison them mentally.
Ugh,
hmm.
with a lot more than with a
It's
Yeah.
lot
death.
more.
It's death, no matter how you look at it.
Oof, oof.
Mental poison
Speak
is
the
the
truth.
worst, bro.
Speak the truth.
So, all right, I want to finish it up with this. Oh well, we have a few more things. I'll just run through them real quick. Okay, how would you know that it's too early in a development stage to begin to go to market? How do you know that it's too soon for you to start pushing this as a business? Which is another mistake a lot of people make. I have product and let me go, or I have this idea, let me go. When do you know, if it's possible for you to know, that it's too early for you to take that next step?
Do you ever know? I think you just gotta just run with it, bro, and try, learn hands on.
Well, I mean, in my field personally, it's easy because if he doesn't know how to throw a punch yet, I'm not going to put him into spar.
Uh huh.
If he's never done anything on the ground, I'm not going to have him do jujitsu.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
know,
understand.
so
I guess in that field is different.
in my field, it's kind of easy. You can tell when the person's not ready to jump inside for the UFC.
Uh huh.
It's real fucking easy. You know, you could tell when the third grader is not ready to spar with the sixth grader. And just for the record, yeah, I do have my third graders sparring with sixth graders, and a few of them can actually whip ass.
Right.
Third graders, that is.
That's what's up.
Marissa says, if you're not confident in your product, there have been people who have been very confident in their product, yet they don't take into consideration, okay, I have this amount of money,
Advertising, all the other stuff.
John and I were talking about that earlier. Somebody can come through, I have $10,000 to invest, but they didn't think that Mahalante, they're going to need 10 more. And then now you got people, hey, man, this is fantastic. Let me give you promotion. All I need is $2,000 more and I put you on TV. You know what I'm saying? You have to take all of these things into account.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of businesses don't do good because of that. They don't know how to manage all the other different things that are in business. Like you said, you gotta have the product first, the advertising, whatever else that you would need, bro, for it to jump off. But as far as like, if you're gonna be scared, if you're gonna be scared of, let's say you have 2 of the 4 things you need, right? 2 of them. The other ones are you could actually learn it hands on if you just try. Because you think about it, oh, I can't get those other 2 things, and then not do nothing. It's a hell, yo, no existe nada. Like sometimes you just gotta dive in, bro, and learn hands on. You know what I'm saying?
I've started a few ideas for years, bro. And the latest idea that I put up fruition was clothing line that I brought out, that I spoke to Cacique and John about. They know about it. And bro, that's something that you be like, yo, how could I go about to make moves with this without somebody just copying your brand or just hurrying up and doing it, because there's people that they just like that. They
Oh
got
yeah,
money,
the vultures, Baba. Oof.
and they in the cut on the sideline waiting for an idea to pop up so they can run with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you
No,
gotta have
that's really important. What's really important we didn't touch, and this is really actually one of the first things that you should do. At least that's what they tell me. I haven't even done it yet, to be honest, but I need to do it. Is actually get your shit licensed and have it branded under you. Whatever is it that you're gonna do, have it,
Well, I did a,
get it notarized, get it all that. Go to the lawyer, go to boom, boom, boom. In other words, you're gonna be end up paying taxes for your freaking for your
and
business. You know what I'm saying?
you gotta remember, bro. Ain't no way going around Uncle Sam, brother. When it comes to that.
Oh well.
Oh yeah.
If you're gonna have to do something like that, of course, bro, you gotta pay taxes. That's when you take that extra step. I did an LLC for the brand, how you call it? I gotta start paying taxes myself. So it's like when you go a step further, that's when, and I've been sitting on that project for a minute, but it's like I explained.
Yeah, I have too.
It was, and I received the number, man. So mom told I said what's up, and you already know.
I definitely got to do that, bro. I got to get my brand on. Hell yeah. My DJ shit. The other thing, eventually, I want to do it also, but I got to get my DJ name at the notarized, all that shit stamped. You already know.
Yo, another, yeah, man.
I read, I'm sorry, Sandy. I read somewhere where one of the best things that can be done, and so far I've been using it when it comes to the podcast, and it's working. You know what I mean? Because we may not be reaching a great quantity of people, but we are definitely getting together with good quality
All right.
of people, and that's more important. And the trick is to think of when you're planning, think of your goal, and then reverse engineer it. Where do I want to be? And then bring yourself backwards to see exactly how it is you're gonna get there.
I think everything starts. You know what, man? I always said everything starts with the kids, bro. Fuck everything else. Adults is adults, bro. You gotta plant that seed to the children, man. You gotta teach them. Once you teach them, man. I was in the school, in the elementary school, and again they called me from the clase de bomba right here from Isabela. They were like, mira, tenemos en la escuela para que van a tocar bomba, a tocar tambuleador. I was like, yo, voy para allá para la escuela. The kids, nigga, that was incredible. Teaching your kids about that. And the kids,
bro.
And they're hungry for it. They're hungry for it.
Oh.
I've actually wanted to start doing that like they do in San Juan with DJ Adam and at the Alex Time Machine Squad, that school that they got for the kids, the b-boying, the DJing. I would love to do something like that over here, bro. For real, I would.
Poder.
So right now,
man.
The ventures I got going on with the movies, the short films that I'm doing with Millimeter G Films, I have a jump off called Trust No One, and I have different situations of programs going on with that, and man, that Millimeter G Film thing is crazy, bro. Right there, I could just project a lot of things that are going on, and bring a different face to movies, bro. Like, man, we tired of too much killing, bro. Always violence. So, I got a whole bunch of ideas, man, on just laughter, bro. On just comedy.
Yeah, comedy.
Shit, bro. Yo, we need tears, but we need tears of joy. We don't need tears to be crying over a casket, my nigga. The Will Smith tears. That when you see Will Smith crying, like, damn, this Will Smith, nigga. Like, damn. Like, that's the type of tears you want to bring to the fucking audience, and that's the shit that I'm projecting with my shit, bro. Man,
that's what's up.
We've been through a lot of turmoils and stuff, and street activities or whatever. At least me, you know what I'm saying? And boom, nigga, and just to deliver back positive shit and let people know, yo, this is the actual truth of things, and if you decide to do this is what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bring everything.
Let me tell you, the why of that is very obvious because it's very difficult to find a portrayal of Puerto Ricans the way I know them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's usually what I don't want to say what society thinks of New Eurekans. And it's like, I'm not saying New Eurekans are less Rican, but the mentality and the lifestyle of the Jíbaro, the true Jíbaro de Corazón from the island is a lot different. You know what I mean? As much because we can be assholes. I lift my hand. I love being an asshole. I take that shit to an art.
He does.
Science with me.
I can attest to that. Yeah, that's true.
But something as simple like Navidades, it's already embedded in my culture and in my genes that you have to give out food. You have to be like, yo, come on through. Hey, yo, we cousins. Yo, man, I never met you before. I'm Puerto Rican.
Don't forget the liquor.
We're fucking cousins. Shut up, eat, and drink. Bring your family. I got like 20 of them. Well, then I'll bring out 20 plates. You know what I mean? And it's difficult to see that in movies, in media, period. You know what I mean? So to me, the why of what it is that you do is very fucking obvious. It's very fucking obvious.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. When I started recording these crazy films. Right now, I have a 4K camera, you know, which is a good camera for what I need for big screen or whatever. That obviously they got, I think, 5, 6K or whatever. They got off the hook type shit. But I did a film like years ago. I think it was more than 10 years ago. And there was a lot of kids that are grown now and got their kids that came out in this film. Even people who are dead came out in this film, and people who are locked up right now came out in this film. And when I recorded it, I just recorded it. I did more, recorded it around. It's called One Day, Un Día en el Barrio. The kids, I left the shit and got it out because it was a whack camera. I was just experimenting to see how would it look or whatever. Nigga, like a few years later, them kids is kind of big. They were like, yo, we want to see the movie. We want to see the movie. Los nenes chiquitos, man. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it because I know the kids, you know how it is, man. They want to see themselves on TV. I put it on. Yo, they went bananas. And I'm looking, and I'm like, yo, this is a piece of history. Like, you got old shit. Like, I would look at, if you see my phone history in YouTube, you see nothing but old movies from the 50s, bro. El Santo Enmascarado, from that, the other shit, West Side Story, Taco La por ahí, and you see me with mad shit that had to do with actual acting, tú a tú, and all that, you know. Now everything is CSI, whatever, like the fucking
CGI, yeah.
The camera, and you don't really have to act, nigga. It's crazy. But by you seeing those type of movies that they so organic, bro, that they just boom, just switch it on and they just follow up on whatever move. Que no es algo tan montado con mucho truco. That's something else, and that's the lane that I'm taking, man, and bringing fucking laughter and tears of joy, bro. That's it, and just showing the kids, yo, you don't have to go that route.
Right.
People talk a lot of gangster stuff, but they're not living it. They don't understand the consequences for that shit.
Well, that's what we were talking earlier about the what was it, the mere exposure effect. There's something I had here, blah, blah, blah. Environment always trumps will. Over time, the mind will be influenced by what's around it. And that's once again science. That's the middle mind getting used to habit because it's what's around them. So
how you think they destroyed the generation, bro? Remember, man, we had this conversation before. How they destroyed, how they did sway to the youth. Kid is hyperactive. When a child is hyperactive, that means this kid has got incredible fucking energy, bro. He has to spend it. So it's the parent's job. If this little nigga is hyperactive as a motherfucker, it's my job to find baseball after school and basketball after that, or maybe boxing or some shit, you know. But he could waste that energy into positive shit. But instead, man, schools, they just be like, yo, you know, tirarlo al psicólogo y el psicólogo te lo envía para el doctor y el doctor te lo llena pastilla and you create a drug addict, bro. Because what pills they're giving, the pills ain't regular pills. Those pills is pills, especially on a kid, and then they'll tell you, yo, if that don't work, come back. That means you tell me that, you tell me right now, don't fucking work. You just testing it with this little nigga. Like, if this don't work, so you're not sure what you got. But yet, if you smart enough, you will know what he got. Because he got too much energy.
Too
And
much energy.
It's the parent's job to wake the fuck up and take them to spend that energy. Instead, they blind you with the bread. They blind you with the bread. They'll tell you, well, you know what? If this little nigga like this, you know they'll give you extra money. And you know you're going to get like a rack a month or something for this little nigga. They're going to be like, what? Where them pills at? I got to give them to the little nigga. You got to take some pills. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, facts. That's exactly what's going
I'm
on.
this one up again.
Take the money, go
Word.
sit back on the internet, get fat like a motherfucker all damn day, seeing that and not helping they get that off. And
They don't want to play, go out, nothing.
Bro, that's why this generation is whack, my nigga. They had a 30-year-old plan, bro. Since they started putting pills into people's shit, like, yo, you crazy fool, we got to give you these type of pills. It's fucking up a generation, yo. We had a good generation, a generation of consciousness and all that, bro.
And yet, everything that
everything
you find in the pill, you can find in nature.
Okay.
Without the side effects.
I need to interject. So today, one of my students says, Miss Felices, can I get 2 infractions so I can get suspended so I can go home? Literally. And I looked at him and I was like, you want me to send you home? He goes, yeah, can I get 2 infractions? I said, okay, you can get the 2 infractions, but I'm also going to make the recommendation that you stay here in school and you have an in-school suspension with me all day. How about that? And they were like, and they were just like, but I was like, no, you're not going to go home, because for me, sending you home is sending you on a vacation. I'm making you get up in the morning, get dressed, get out, and move your body, because that to you is punishment. While I was a kid, if you send me to my room, that was punishment. If I couldn't go out to be with my friends, that was punishment. I had video games, okay, on a rainy day that no me quiero, that because I didn't want lightning to strike my ass. Aunque sea cayendo el aguacero, oh, fuck it, we're still walking, que se joda. I'm wet. Oh, well, parecemos 2 pollitos mojados cuando llegamos a casa. Pero we were out, But when that lightning started coming in, it's like, all right, that's kind of fucked up. We can't be going outside because that lightning is kind of brawling. We can't do anything. But but these kids, they're like happy to stay in. And I blame, unfortunately, our generation. We have a lot to do with it, because if we knew that what we did was different, and I'm not saying it's all of us, because our hands were tied on a lot of different issues. That's like, well, fuck, I can't do that anymore. I used to do it, but now it's illegal. Now I can't beat my own kid. No, you can't beat your own kid to a pulp. You know?
They got out of hand.
But
like, yo, what? You forget flying public, you get fucked up, nigga.
They say that's all you learn.
Everybody out there who's watching, ask your Puerto Rican friend what this is.
Yo, son, all right, yo, you don't behave or else. If they take you, all right, BCW take you, okay, what's gonna happen in there? It's gonna be raping you. Nigga, those niggas just be like, no, don't behave, nigga.
That's all you learn.
Behave, no, nigga. Yo, no, I was like, yo, I was on their ass. Like, yo, nah, nigga.
But what he said was true when it came to the kids, and as far as, because as soon as the paperwork says, oh, your child has an IEP, your child is under medication, so you get extra money on top of that. And when I say that, I know of families that come to one school, their kids act out, they move that kid to another school, those kids act out, they move that kid to another school, and that as long as their IEP is up to par, they don't care where their kids are going, what their kids are doing, how they're learning. So I have gotten to the point, and let me tell you, I push the bar all the time. When I'm in my classroom, I get away with a lot of shit that a lot of teachers don't get away with. So if you guys are if you work with me, don't say what I say. You hear me? Don't say what I say. But I literally look at the kids and I look at the kids and I say, whether or not the adults in your home care about your grades, I do, and I expect them to care. So you make sure that they sign that paper. Otherwise, you ain't getting this grade. That's how I do it. I have to make my students take a paper to their parents, make the parents sign their grade. Tú sabes la libreta de las notas. That's what I have to do. I have to, because it's December and I still don't have 100% of my parents signed up to communicate with me to check in on the kids and see how they're doing.
Yo, I gotta go in old school real quick and say, how about when we used to sign those same papers that they used to give us for our parents to sign, and we would go back and sign it ourselves as little kids?
Oh, I was Mom.
Counterfeit.
My penmanship is like yours for a reason, Mom. If you watch it, my handwriting is like yours for a reason.
I was never.
I was
That
trying
was
to
my
say
side. Hold on, entrepreneurship. That was my side hustle. I used to sign everybody's report card and everybody's absentee letter. This is like, oh, mira, hazme una nota, Sandra. Tú tienes okay, dale. Dame $2 pesos. Okay, dale, toma. Ahí tienen la cartita.
I was making absentees quick. You already know.
We're getting towards the end of our show, and I want to end it off with this. How can we grow, or where is it that we want to get to with our respective businesses, and how do you think other people should build theirs? Not should, because that sounds like imposing, but any trick in your trade that you may have for someone else.
At least,
El deseo, like Baba said before, bro, you gotta have the drive and the wanting to do it, bro. Even if you're gonna, if you are gonna have the doubt about it, but how about if this happens? And how about if I lose this? And how about but how about if you make mad money or whatever it is that you're gonna not know until you try it, bro. So it's good to be prepared, like in anything else. Do your research gain knowledge on what's good for you, your business, what the pros and cons, I guess, right? Like anything else. But at the end of the day, bro, just believe in your project, believe in yourself or in your team that's helping you out. And that's it, bro. De aquí pa Hollywood, como quien dice Boricua.
I do believe in the belief. That was redundant and it's all shit, right? But I do believe that's a factor. Me personally, I don't believe that's a factor that should be over preparation, because even though everybody likes to use this saying, which is, I'll sell ice cubes to an Eskimo. It sounds fantastic to say that you're a great seller, but you are not in reality going to be able to sell ice to an Eskimo. You know what I mean?
Real.
You cannot sell sandy feet to somebody who lives at the beach. You know what I'm saying? So yes, there is a point to where preparation has to come before your motivation. You know what I mean? I could be motivated to do these ill gray shirts and everybody's going to buy my gray shirts, but I live in a town where everybody has at least 12 gray shirts.
In certain fields, what you're saying is true, but in other ones, you just got to try it, bro, because you never know. That's all right. Let's say like a boxer. A boxer trains how many times a day? He runs, he does all this, gets fit, Oh, I'm ready. He goes in the ring and gets his ass whooped. All right. What happens? Now he got to go back and get ready again. When he got knowledge of the first fight, he's going to go back to the first fight and analyze, what did I do wrong? His team is going to tell him, yo, you did this wrong. You did that. So he's learning.
This is something that I'm learning now, dealing with mixed martial arts and with the different licenses, because promoter license is one thing, managers another thing, fighters another thing, trainers another. All those are different licenses. When you're the fighter, there is no business. You're a prize fighter. You are fighting for money. The business actually comes when you become a manager. And unfortunately, you have to look at your fighter. If you want to be a good manager, you have to look at your fighter as product. So it's not a business. The person who does the promotion has part of the business in the fight game. The manager has part of the business in the fight game. The owner of the gym has somewhat of a part of the business in the fight game. The fighter itself is the game. And it's unfortunate. It is really unfortunate. And that is why I said I would never train people in mixed martial arts. and look where I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Look what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring it to the that's why me personally, I don't think I would ever become a promoter or a manager. Because of that, you have to see these fighters as product. And I've spoken to different managers, and they're like, you know what? It's unfortunate, but yeah. You know that your guy is going to get his ass kicked by this guy. He's going to get fucked up, but it's a payday that he might not get for the next 3 years. I'm trying to get paid now. Woof.
That's the fight game, man. But that's the fight game, my brother. The fight game ain't fair, bro.
I mean, you've been around a lot of boxers and a lot of boxing gyms. Am I lying?
You seen Ali wasn't in his right state of mind, and they threw him in with Larry Holmes. This dude, Don King, bro, threw him in with Larry Holmes, bro. That was like, why, nigga? Larry Holmes was a killer at that time, bro. Sharp jab, he was a killer. Yo, he fucked Ali up. It was tough. You know what I'm saying?
Like Mayweather says, which is true, that fight game, and he's one of the first ones to actually do the entrepreneurship of his own boxing. Like you say, the boxer doesn't. He himself, he was like one of the first dudes to be his own promoter while he fights. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, his dad, which is protecting his interests. The Mayweather, bro. Mayweather did that shit really. He took that shit and he said the trick is not to take punishment, not to hit and not take as much punishment.
That nigga, he's a genius in the stage, man. You know, and besides that, man, he showed people don't understand that for Floyd Mayweather to become Money Mayweather, he had to be Pretty Floyd. Pretty Floyd, who unified titles and all divisions. Floyd was the guy who challenged the best at the moment.
Yeah, and the branding
went up, keep going up till he made the payday with De La Hoya. That's when he became Money Mayweather, and that's when he chose to sit back and pick his opponent. It was real. Yeah. He didn't fight people in their prime. Waited, keep fucking
going back like to that we said earlier. He had to learn. He had to do the knowledge before anything. He could have had all the desire in the world, but if he didn't learn and listen to his uncle and his dad, he would have never learned.
Of course. But what I'm trying to get at with that is that nowadays people see Floyd Mayweather, all these boxers, and automatically they want to be Money Floyd. They don't want to be Pretty Floyd. The guy who
they just want to get to the money.
They want to cherry pick, nigga. Like literally, I'm the A side. No, you're not, bro. Who you fighting to be an A side fighter? Who you doing? They're doing a Mayweather, but they doing a Mayweather after his career was almost over. They ain't doing Pretty Floyd. They just want to jump to Money May just because they made a smart business decision and they super filthy rich. And
like in MMA, Conor McGregor, can't nobody say that he's fighting the easy guys. So that's something you got to give to him. He's fighting the top guys because he doesn't have a choice.
That's been fighting the illest niggas, bro. He don't. Even when you're having a bad night, mira eso, se rompió la.
He was winning that fight too.
He broke his shin.
I have to say this. The way I saw it, it was on purpose.
When he was in the floor with his chin hanging, he was like, fuck y'all.
It was on purpose. I didn't want to get into that. But if you look at Poirier's hips, he turned into the kick. He turned into the kick and gave him the sharp part of the fucking leg, dude. So that shit was going to get hurt no matter what.
Yeah, he checked it. He killed it. He knew what he was doing, but he was ready.
He knew what he was doing.
It's pretty much like if you were to throw a haymaker and all of a sudden I take a 2x4 and put it in the way. No me voy a lastimar yo.
Yeah, that was all
right. So going back to the question that you asked, what would somebody have to do in order to start, if you wanted to start the business or whatever the case would be? Me personally, because that we are trying to start our own business, and not just one, but we have various business ideas that we've been working on and we've been growing. We've been planning for years with different business ideas and different business models. And the passion is what keeps us going. And the passion is what keeps us going, but you have to be well informed. And I think that's something that's really, really important. So do your research, but also understand how, and don't take one way as the only way. You got to keep yourself open. You got to keep
plan A, plan B.
Plan A, plan B, plan Z, plan 1, 2, 3,
You know what I learned with this shit that es- I learned después de viejo. Wow, ¿sabes? Es como todo. I learned that. Hold up, you're trying to call me. Let me just call you back. Boom. Industry is an industry that's always open. Like I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. Like y'all wanna, everything that's on demand where you're from on the planet, wherever you at, geologically around in Earth, wherever you at, there's always something in demand. And you gotta go with that. If you really want to be successful in life, not go with your heart. I love this. This is what I want to. Yeah, all right, that's your passion. But if you really want to elevate to something, I will go food industry and real estate, buying houses, Airbnb them, boom, next to the beach, everywhere, boom. It's the food industry. You're always gonna have money. Work for yourself. Do a trend. Me personally, I like breakfast. That's what I'm concentrating myself. There ain't no breakfast. Jump off in the beach, so that's what I'm really putting my head to. And boom, get something that's fresh that nobody has, bro. And run with it. Puerto Rico, you know how they rock. Cuando sacaron lo de los frappés, everybody and their grandmama have frappé coming off a tree or some shit like that. Just because.
Right.
Like, why? Because that's how it is out here.
Mm-hmm.
You come up with some shit, everybody want to run with it, everybody want to do it, So it's about doing something, and the food market is open. Take advantage, bro, and that's my business input, man. Do LLC.
And you know what? When it comes with the food, I think talent also has a lot to do with it. It comes into play automatically, because yes, if you have 5 hamburger places, one next to the other, it's going to be difficult for you to make a 6th one in the middle and make money.
Hello.
But if you by chance happen to have the burgers that nobody else has,
you got to have exotic burgers.
Quality.
Now
You're a force to reckon with. Now all of a sudden you become a danger for them.
Oh, you talking about how you call that hamburger? Meal, brother. Like there's one that's like steak basically, bro. It's over. Them niggas ain't selling them meat patties no more. They ain't gonna sell the little beef patties. You know what I'm saying? Once you come out with them jump offs.
Right.
Yeah,
make them out of carbón hamburgers.
Yes,
Vamos ya casi por 2 horas aquí, ¿oíste, chicos?
Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Yeah, let's cut it up here. Guys, I think my panelists don't go anywhere after the broadcast. We can still talk and talk shit right here in the studio without fucking streaming it. Everybody watching us.
So mind your business.
Oh, wait a minute. Brontosaurus Burgers. Okay.
Brontosaurus Burgers.
I'll try it out. Guys, get busy. Get your stuff going. Get your ideas straight. Write it out. Plan it out. You know what I mean? Read on it.
Search.
Learn on it. You know what I mean? Don't just, I want to do this and I'm going to jump into it. There's a lot of risks. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. And though we all are passionate, once again, don't be emotional about it, because there are things that you shouldn't do. Don't put up your house for a business that might.
No. Don't do that.
You know what I'm saying? So due diligence. Check out your licenses. Check out your patents. Look at the market. See what's around you that's like you, that's not like you. You know what I'm saying? And just take it from there. This is Joey Zaza from Shoot the Shit with John Wayne, with Manny, with Sam. We in the place. Everybody get busy. He will stay up.
Peace and love.
One.
Hey.
Bye.
Yeah.